Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often reviewing rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have Brothers Bond Straight Bourbon Whiskey, original cask strength, 57.55% ABV, whiskey base number 233285. Now I paid 109 euros for this. It is a celebrity bottling. Over here in Germany, the normal price is anywhere between, hold your horses, 128 euros and 170 euros. Now in America, this is an $80 product. But Jason, why is the price so much more expensive over in Europe? Well, because Brothers Bond Straight Bourbon Whiskey is a celebrity whiskey. We have two very important people from the Vampire Diary. We have Ian Somerhalder and we have Paul Wesley. They play brothers and brother vampires on Vampire's Diary, and they have decided to, hey, let's capitalize on our marketing reach and let's do a bourbon. And did a normal bourbon, and now they actually in 2023, last year they brought out a 70 barrel batch of bourbon from MGP. Now it has no mash bill on it, at least not officially here. I don't think I ever went here. Wait a second. Did I go to the official website of Brothers Bond Cask Strength? Let me go there real quick and take a look at something here. Yes, I'm of the drinking age. So they actually say here on brothersbondbourbon.com, cask strength. Elegant and exceptionally rich, complex, and balanced taste with a touch of sweetness and spice. It's a 4-grain high rye straight bourbon whiskey with a mash bill of 65% corn, 22% rye, wheat and barley making up the rest. And the copper column and copper pot doubler distillation methods creates a spirit full of flavor and texture. I'm just reading from the website. Then the spirit is aged for a minimum of 4 years in virgin American oak with a deep char number 4 on the staves and number 2 char on the barrel heads. Ooh, just a number 2 char on the barrel heads. All right, very, very, very good. And if I go now to, they've won some competitions here. So let's see if there's a gold winner at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition 2022. So they're a platinum winner at the American Spirits Council of Tasters. They're double gold at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition 2023. They were just gold in 2022. They were double gold at the New York World Spirits Competition 2023. And they were a finalist in the New York World Spirits Competition 2023 Best Bourbon. Wow, that's impressive. And I must admit, this did not impress me. If I go over to Breaking Bourbon, Jordan, actually, he gave them 3 barrels of 5. He calls it lackluster. And I'm going to agree more with Jordan than I am with some of these competitions. I'm just going to pull out a rare breed. This is 58.4%, so I have a little bit more. This is $45, 45 euros over here in Germany at the moment. I'm still amazed at the price. 128 to 179 is what I've seen online at the moment. I paid 109. Miss Canada Caston over here by Hanover, Germany. She and her husband import small quantities of bourbons and then they resell them on the German market. For me, perfect. I'm in the States once a year max. I have a suitcase, I can fill it up with whiskey and that's it. And they use a container, put other stuff in there as well as bottles, do all the taxes, do all the customs, do all the import, and then I get to buy it for a good price here. Cheaper than flying over to the States. What about these old tags here? I'm not a big fan of them. Not something I necessarily need on my whiskey bottle. But some people apparently do. So, yeah. On the nose. It's really weird. The whole time I've been nosing and tasting this for the last hour or so, I did a video in German before this, oatmeal with maple syrup. There's no oats in here, there's no maple syrup in here, but I'm getting oatmeal with maple syrup. They themselves say something about it having, on the nose, complex notes of ripe bananas. Don't get that. Walnuts, don't get that. Leather, maybe. Rye bread, warm rye bread, vanilla, and a little bit of subtle smoke. Don't get any smoke whatsoever on the nose. Now over here, the rare breed has a little bit more alcohol, has a little bit more depth, has a little bit more wood, and has a little bit more of a mineral type of moment. I don't know where I get the mineral moment. Think hard water. So limestone water. I don't know if you've ever had soft water and you've had hard water. If you go to the hard water, you drink it without the chlorine in America. That hard mineral water, that's what I'm getting here. This has more depth and complexity. This is 4 years old. This is, I don't know. This is 4 years plus. This is Kentucky Straight Bourbon, 4 years plus. This is probably going to be between 5 and 7 years of age. There is no mash bill from MGP that actually gives us the exact composition that we have here of 65% corn, 22% rye, and a four grain with wheat and barley. So what they did is they took different barrels with different mash bills and blended it into their 70 barrel batch. Are 70 barrels considered a small batch? I mean, I know there's no legal definition for small batch, but for me, small batch is under 20 barrels. All right, so you're gonna get 4,000 bottles out of that. 200 bottles per barrel, basically. So, no, that's a lot. I mean, when you start going to 10,233, the number of bottles you have, that's a lot. All right, let's try it. Cheers. What I dislike about this whiskey is the finish. Wow, it gets green, it gets bitter, and there's a little bit of sweetness as well. It's really, really not my favorite product in the world. All right, on a tasting note would be, you have dried fruits. Okay. Caramel, vanilla, a little bit of honey. I do get that honey moment. And they actually say on here on the back, it's a 2-minute finish. All right. And the rye really comes through. I think this is a fairly younger whiskey. I don't think there's 6 to 8 years products in here. I think it's more to 4 to 6. And don't forget, MGP distilled, MGP Indiana matured for most of its life. Those are brick and mortar warehouses. The aging takes a little bit different than a wood rick house in Kentucky, where the temperature differences every day make a big, big difference. Here, these warehouses, storage warehouses, are massive and very constant, fairly constant in the temperature. They're not that temperature swings that you have 140 degrees during the day and 40 degrees during the night, 100 degrees Fahrenheit difference. Nope, you don't get that. This is a solid C in my book. It's not a C+, it's not a B-. Am I being very harsh with it? In my German video, I gave it a C-, I gave it a C+, sorry, I gave it a C+, took another sip, and I was like, no, on the palate, just doesn't, the finish just doesn't do it for me. This, on the other hand, people love their rare breed. I just recently did a video, came out in the German, will come out in a few weeks in English. I have a 10-year-old wild turkey. I have the normal wild turkey 101. I have the rare breed 101. I have the rare breed normal and the rare breed non-chilled filtered in the 1 liter. And I have a single barrel Russell's Reserve pick. And guess which one lost? I like the non-chilled filtered rare breed a little bit better. I like the 101 better. And the 12 was really easy to identify. It was the weakest of all of them from the ABV and from the complexity. It was there, but it just wasn't, I think it wasn't worth the money. So, spoiler alert. Now the question is, will this be able to go over here and beat this? Cheers. I can get 2 bottles of this in the States for 1 bottle of this. I can get 3 bottles of this and just 1 bottle of this in Germany. Or I can actually get almost 4 bottles of this if I pay the $170 for 1 bottle of this every day of the week. But people that go out and buy the Brothers Bond cask strength whiskey bourbon, they're not buying it for the flavor experience. They're not buying it because it has the best value for money on the market. They're buying it for one simple reason: they are victims of marketing. They want a celebrity bottle. And I can talk till the cows come home about how this whiskey is not worth its money. If they see the bottle in the shop and go, oh, and they associate, oh, these are the guys from Vampire's Diary. I've always wanted a bottle. They're going to buy it. They're going to probably not even crack it open and just leave it on the shelf and just have it as a souvenir. Is this an $80 souvenir? Nah. The normal, if you can find it, standard, not cask strength, might just do the touch there as well. Will there be a next batch? Probably. There's enough fans out there to go buy 10, 20,000 bottles of this, I'm sure. So let's do the math here. We have 200 bottles. There's 14,000 bottles, more or less, out there. This is something people will buy. This is something people will cherish. And this is something where I'll just go, oh no, another celebrity bottle. Is it worth it? No. Value for money, D. Taste, solid C. Would I go out and buy this instead every single day of the week? And there are many, many others. Question of the day: which celebrity whiskey do you go, oh, that was better than expected? Was it a Brothers and Bond? Was it I still think the Bradshaw bourbon rye were better than expected. Which celebrity bottle can you recommend? Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, telling others. And if you came here to learn more about the Vampire's Diary, wrong person. Sorry. Bye-bye.